Good evening, I'm Lee Anderson. 122 teachers and support staff members from Bend High School and Bear Creek Elementary signed a letter protesting plans for a permanent homeless camp off Northeast 9th Street. The letter was sent to the mayor, the city council, the Bend Lapine School Board, and others today. The camp would sit between the two schools, which enrolled nearly 2,000 students. The letter invites city officials to tour the proposed site with a group of teachers, students, and staff to better understand their safety concerns.
We are focused on everything we can do to make a decision that's in the best interest of the kids. And for the people that signed the letter, that is not this location as the first time the city of Bend ever tries a camp, and working together to explain the reasons that we don't feel like it's a good location.
The city says if approved, the camp would serve up to 25 people. It would have quiet hours, rules on settling disputes, running water, and sanitation services. Another camp is proposed south of Murphy Road off 3rd Street. Some of the teachers plan to speak at tonight's city council meeting. We'll have the latest tonight at 10 and 11. Redmond city councilors are unanimously in favor of adding a safe parking program to help people dealing with housing issues there. It's a program that's been successful in Bend. Jordan Williams joins us now to explain how the program works. Jordan?
Well, yeah, I'm told the safe parking program may not be a solution to the homelessness issue in Central Oregon, but certainly a step in the right direction. This is what the city of Redmond wants to clean up. Northeast 17th Street, home to dozens of people living in RVs and cars.
One of the comments we hear out there is, this isn't a good place, it should be somewhere else. And of course, there's just the problem of everybody thinks it should be somewhere else. And so we're going to step up and say we'll be a part of the solution. Mountain
View Fellowship's lead pastor, Rick Russell, is looking to help make a change.
We've seen rents go through the roof, and as that's happened, it's displaced more and more people. And we want to provide some option for them to be that's better than living in the dirt.
Russell's church on Southwest 35th Street wants to become the first location in the city to start a safe parking program to give people living in their vehicles a safe place to be. It's a program that's been a success in Bend through the help of Stacy Whitty and her organization, REACH.
The safe parking concept is not the answer to our homeless challenges in our region. It is part of the solution, though.
Nativity Lutheran in Southeast Bend is the location offering a safe parking program in the city. And this is how it works. The program designates a parking lot where people struggling with housing can park their vehicles day and night. Each person will need to get approved to park there either through law enforcement, a medical provider, or sometimes a self-referral. The parking lots are considered low-barrier shelters, which means they don't screen for drugs or alcohol, but those items are not allowed. Each person staying can work with case managers to build resumes and apply for jobs.
I think the whole attempt here is to create connections with people. It's to reintegrate people into relationships and into society and to open up other opportunities for housing or other resources.
Mountain View Fellowship's Rick Russell tells me the program could start at his church with 2 to 3 spaces for vehicles as soon as October. He also tells me he's working with other churches and businesses in Redmond to sign up for the program once it's approved. Lee?
St. Charles has a record number of COVID-19 patients now at 89. That's up 14 from yesterday. 12 people are in the ICU. Across the state, there are 2,827 new cases of COVID-19 and 23 new reported deaths. Deschutes County has 209 new cases. Crook has 19. Jefferson has 22. The Deschutes County Commissioners did not consider a proposal from Democratic Commissioner Phil Chang to create a vaccination incentive program for county employees today. Chang reiterated his proposal was voluntary, not a mandate. But Republicans Tony DeBone and Patty Adair were not interested in moving forward. Chang tells News Channel 21 he'll continue to try to push the idea through. An emergency veterinary center in Bend had to reduce its hours of operation last spring. Now its doors are opening again, this time for longer. Carly Keenan joins us now with the details. Carly?
Lee, there are only 2 animal hospitals in Bend that offer 24/7 walk-in care. In May, that changed when one hospital didn't have enough employees to stay open all day and night. but now it's able to expand its hours.
How often do people come in with an animal emergency?
All day.
Oh, all day long, yeah.
Hospitals for Humans haven't been the only emergency center struggling to find employees. Bend Veterinary Specialty and Emergency Center had to reduce its hours in May due to a staffing shortage. Now it's under new ownership. The owners tell me since Bend is such an animal-loving community, emergencies happen. But 70% of those emergencies happen after hours. Starting September 13th, if your pet has an emergency after hours, it can be seen at the clinic at South 3rd Street and Division. The change is possible because the animal hospital has found people to work.
Our goal is to become a 24-hour facility again, so for those animals that are in need of critical care and longer-term hospitalization, more than a few hours, we'll have a place to go and a place to stay rather than being transferred around.
The center will be open Monday through Thursday from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and Friday through Sunday 24/7. The owners say their patients, or rather their patients' owners, are happy to hear about the change.
A lot of clients that I've been seeing, I've been telling them that we're extending our hours and all of that, and they're just thankful and grateful and so excited because it's been missing for the last several months, is the care in the middle of the night.
50 to 60 employees is considered a full staff. Right now, the emergency center has 39. Without 24/7 access to an animal hospital, owners would have to bring their pets to Portland or Eugene for emergency care, unless your pet provides that service. But now they can be seen right here in town. Lee?
Even though our air quality here in this region is looking great at the moment, Max Goldwasser says the air quality alert in Deschutes County has been extended. He joins us now. The first look at our local alert weather. And Max, that's what you expected, isn't it?
It is what we expected, Lee. And this is, like you said, looking pretty good for now. But there is some smoke that is rolling into the region, mainly from two fires in particular. Some northerly breezes pushing that in. So I do expect this to change just a bit, just as we were talking about over the last 2 days. Now, that air quality alert was supposed to expire this morning at 11 a.m. That was in effect for all of Deschutes County, now just southern Deschutes County. It's been extended all the way until Friday at 11 a.m. And you'll see kind of why here on our smoke forecast moving forward. Two big fires in particular, all right? Keep your eye there and there, the Bull Complex fire and the Schneider Springs fire. Winds pushing that smoke around the entire region. You see, it's not extremely dense smoke that comes to us here in Central Oregon, but it will impact that air quality. Of course, that's why, especially for southern Deschutes County, that air quality alert has been extended all the way until Friday. Now, those two fires, right, are the reason that we're seeing a lot of smoke. But Lee, I know you're going to talk about this Middle Fork Complex fire here coming up. What's the update on that?
Here it is, Max. An incident commander tells us the Gales and Quist fires, part of the Middle Fork Complex, will not be fully contained until significant rain comes in the fall. The complex burning north of Oak Ridge totals more than 20,000 acres and is 20% contained. Officials say closures in the Willamette National Forest are expected to remain in place for some time. The Lane County Sheriff's Office has lifted a level 1 evacuation notice for Oak Ridge and West Fir. A balloon with a metallic film, like the ones used for birthday parties, caused a power outage in Bend today. Just after noon, a single balloon drifted into power lines and knocked out power for 1,800 people. It happened just behind Costco. Pacific Power says outages caused by balloons are rare, but still happen yearly.
It seems like a small thing, but just a little bit of metal in those floating balloons can get in there, and it can cause an outage for inconvenience for in this case 1,800 folks. Obviously there have been instances where it's more, and this kind of stuff is entirely preventable with a little bit of forethought and just being careful.
Power was restored quickly, but the balloon started a small fire in a nearby tree. Costco employees put it out with an extinguisher, then contacted the fire department. Bend Fire says most modern extinguishers are not water-based, so they're safe to use on electrical fires.